Okay, on the Prosharp Skate Pal Pro 3, there is a vacuum port here on the side you can use. To open this up, you connect this up to a shop vac. You get some type of adapter. You may have to put some duct tape in there, but you go through and hook this up. This is for a smaller shop vac. This is for a larger one. But even after you sharpened a lot, you might get some buildup inside, even though we're using the vacuum. So after this, I'm going to show you how you can clean out the inside. Anyways, here's the two discs, two different diameter discs. There's a 100mm and there's a 60mm disc. Got different radiuses of hollow, different grit. 64 is a fine grit. 252 is a coarse grit, like for Reynolds. And then this is a 100mm, this is a 60mm. You generally use this for smaller skates like figure skates and things. This particular one's got a 13mm radius. Those go inside here like this. You pull this down and then you unscrew this. You fit it on the hub. That's for the Skate Pal Pro 3. There was actually a Pro 2 version that looks very similar to this, and then there was a Skate Pal that didn't have the Pro in it that actually used a disc that I believe was this size, but it had a grinding attachment on the top, so you dress the wheel, and that's probably from 15 to 20 years ago. This has been made for I think 15 years, and the real old one looks different, looks totally different. The 2 and the 3 look very similar, but you can go through and go up to 5 cycles. When you push the button on here, it'll either go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 cycles. So if you just want to do a touch-up, you can do 1 or 2. And it's got a self-centering clamp down in here, and you go through and rotate this around. It'll clamp. So this goes in some guides that go in diagonally. And when you first get it up, you should set it up, and if you're off any, you can go ahead and move the one adjustment right there. I think it's the one on the right, which moves it in and out to get the left and right edges centered. And then this, I believe, is for the pressure, how much pressure you want to have down. And this one actually runs on, I think, 110 volts. It might run on both. I have to look what the specs are. Probably runs on 220 or 110. I'm not really sure on that. But this is the access cover you normally cover up so that when you're using a vacuum, you're going through and pulling it all through here. And so it's got a couple little thumb screws you can undo. So when you're normally using the unit, you cover this up so you're pulling all any dust created down through here and through a vacuum. You don't have to use a vacuum. It's just you're going to get more buildup inside. If you get more buildup, it's not really necessarily good for the unit in the sense you're going to get bigger wear. There's rods up on there, which is basically part of the extrusion of the mechanism. And for cleaning, you can go ahead and cycle the command and then turn the on-off switch here off, so the mechanism is pulled over so you can get your vacuum up in there like that. And this is a used unit I got many years ago. They do have a Z channel, I believe, for this. I'm not sure if they got it on that one yet. They may or may not. You can look at the grit size and see the one here that's the coarse really looks way more coarser. So that's probably I don't know if that's the number of microns, but the bigger number means it's coarser. So I don't know if that's probably the waviness, peak to valley. This is the radius, of course, in millimeters. 13 is close to 1/2 inch. 16 is close to 5/8 if you want to use English. These go a lot of number of cycles compared. This is a Sparks one. And so they basically kind of copied to where you've got pixie dust on here. This is a smaller disc. You're not going to get as many out of it. This actually's got a, I believe, a chip or RFID on here, so it keeps track of the number of cycles. So even if this wasn't physically worn out, they're going to prevent you from using it. It actually counts the number of cycles. These don't really care. There's no magical gizmo in here that's keeping Big Brother what's going on. So it's kind of a different system. The cost, I think, of these is about half what the Sparks is. But the Sparks unit costs less. This is a good unit to hoss out a bunch of rental skates, or just if you want to plaster and do a whole bunch of them. It's a good kind of a robust unit. They've made this for about 15 years. And it's got a top that goes on top of this. It's the carrying case over here. It's got a lid you can store your stuff inside there.